Welcome to the Boosted Fam, everyone. Today we have a lot to go over with the 1972, the issues from last week and everything, and I will go into depth about the two shops that are working on this truck. Obviously, it's only stayed at one shop so far, but why both these shops can correlate together to make, eventually what I hope to be a SEMA truck. But we have a lot to get into. This bad boy will be going to where a Chevy and Dodge owner believes it needs to go. Well, I guess a GM owner and a Dodge owner. But anyways, we have a lot to go over. And near the end of the video, we're going to go over a guy that has a 72 build already. You have to double check what his Instagram is and everything, which I'll put in the description down below and everything, where you all put in your comments about what you all think about where the truck stands and everything we are looking to do to it. But I'm actually really looking forward to this. I have talked to my shop, everything. We've cleared the air on everything that was going on. Every build hits a milestone that is a bump in the road. And by gosh, if we didn't hit one finally, and it just caught me on a day, I was not in the greatest mood. Everybody has those bad days. But we will go into depth about the shops and this truck and where we expect it to be, especially at the end of this video. I'm going to go in full detail and explain every little aspect of it. Well, here we go. Here we go. Today is the day to figure out all these big updates that I wasn't able to get last week and see how the truck is sitting. Also, if you watched the video last week, I told you there's another shop that could be involved. We're also going to swing by there today, introduce myself to that Tyler, which I know who he is, but just kind of go over some of the things that I want him to do, because Tyler is actually in a really good position to go ahead and finish up a lot of really good fab work right now. But I want both shops really involved. They're both great people, and I really want both of them to work on this truck. And there's just some things I want one to do and the other to do. So we're gonna go over there and introduce ourselves. But next video, you're actually gonna truly, really see his shop. He said he'd like to clean it up and make it presentable before going on the channel, and that is absolutely understandable. So here she is. Let's actually go through the updates. There's actually quite a bit of updates. I came through here yesterday and got, the down and dirty of everything going on here. This obviously has been the massive pain in our butt, which we have decided this won't work because it's up against the frame. You would need it to move all the way up into the arc right there, which there's two different options that we have found out. And these are actually really important for if anybody wants to do this to their truck. Very, very, very important. We've come to realize we can fabricate a tank and actually have it slide all the way up, which I do like this idea, but it's a decently expensive version. But we're going to make a tank and then have it to where it goes all the way up here to where we can actually use the filler neck and go up through here to where we can still use this guy, which I would love. Originally, that is what I wanted. Or supposedly there is extremely, extremely rare the short bed back thing, I think it was, but there's actually the metal version of this tank over here. And then if you get the metal version, which we're gonna go check a junkyard tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes over. Check a junkyard tomorrow to see if they have the metal tank. The problem is right about there on the tank, it goes too high, so we can literally just chop that off and weld on a new piece if we can find a metal tank. So I'm gonna try to do that tomorrow, and that's a hopes and ambition for tomorrow, and that would be in this video. But if we can find just a metal tank that's the exact same, except it also gets rid of all the bumps and everything, so it actually works out perfect. Here, as soon as we leave here, I'll give the information for the guy that told us all of this, or told my mechanic all of this, because he has a $80,000 version of this, which I'll throw some pictures up here in a little bit. But I'm sure if you are following this channel and this build, you've probably already seen his truck. So anyways, then the bed is already ready to go on and everything. You just have to be able to make some new holes. We're not going to use these holes right here. They have to be moved just a little bit, but that is easy stuff for these guys. That's nothing crazy. Then if we move over here to the front, you realize you got an empty spot here, so I figured this would be a spot for a dual battery, and then obviously over here for the other one, just to place this. Nope, going a totally different direction with it. Then the inner core was going to be a big issue because we was going to have to cut all this stuff out, which we obviously didn't want to do. We want to be able to put the grill pieces back in, so he's going to do the air to water inner core right here, and then just put a sheet over it right here. But you'll be able to mount it right here. It takes up very, very little room. We won't have to cut into any of this stuff. And then you just simply gotta run a pipe up through it, and you will have to cut a little through here to where it'll end up over here, the piping. And then the same concept for over here. You'll run it up through, have to cut a little hole to make it through there, and then your pipe won't come through here, but that'll also make it to where you can easily go ahead and just disconnect it for whenever you need to lift the cab and everything, and make a lot of stuff easier, and it frees up a ton of room. The next thing for this is we're going to have to use the 04 steering column for this because the angles are just not going to match up. It's going to put way too much pressure on it, and I've not dealt with steering columns, but I think he said it had a ball joint in it to where it had a lot more flexibility, so that'll actually help for whenever we do lift this thing up and put massive tires on it. Well, massive for this type of old truck, I guess. It's not going to be doing 40s anytime soon. But so whenever you do come into the cab over here, the only issue that will be a little bit different is this column will actually be a little bit thicker because the 04 is a little bit thicker, but it'll still be able to take the wheel off. And obviously this little guy has seen better days. Yep, it can talk to you. But I will still be putting an old school steering wheel back on it. We're not going to use the 04 steering wheel. It may be on there temporary for just a little bit, you know, for startup and being able to get around and drive it, but it will go back to old school steering wheel. And here's Spencer he's trying to screw with me is what he's trying to do. What are you doing? What are you doing? Thanks, Spencer. And then for this little guy, for towing and everything, I do want it to be usable, but I'm probably just going to take this off for just a little bit and have something a lot smaller because this is going to be obnoxious hanging off the rear end for right now until our fabricator can make a custom-made bumper for this, which he's going to do custom bumpers front and rear, but until that bumper is made for the rear, this is going to just be an absolute eyesore. And I don't know what you all think, but we're still wondering about the spare tire setup because eventually this truck's going to be running big enough tires to where it won't fit there anyway, so why not go ahead and toss it while we're at it. And here we go, we are here. I really like seeing that old drop Chevy right there. I like that. Dually, pretty sweet. That gives me good, makes me have really good high hopes. And a few diesels out here. But the difference about this shop, which Tyler always does me right at the other shop, but they actually have their own custom section here that is specifically just for custom builds. So they have a specific person that is dedicated to the custom builds. That's where the little bit of time differences will be. So I'll be more or less going between the shops, seeing what, you know, where it saves time and who is, you know, more proficient at what aspects of the builds. But we will jump inside of this place on the very next video. Here we go. It is time to finally head over to that junkyard, see what they've got. I think it's Jerry's Auto Salvage, I think it was. I had to double check the phone, which, to be honest, it's been a long time since I went to a junkyard to get something, so I'm at least taking some basic tools just in case I have to do an actual little bit of manual labor to get this tank. I know it's not a very long interstate pull, but looky there, a little over 21.5 miles to gallon, 21.6. People was asking me what the 420's got on fuel mileage, and that is right at about 2 more miles to the gallon than what I was getting with those big 14-inch wides with the Furies. Looks like we're just about here, and after everything's said and done, the 30-minute drive, almost 30 miles, 22 miles a gallon on these 420s. So yeah, that's definitely an improvement. And that, well, driving through the country, it actually went up in fuel mileage. But let's see if these guys will let me film in here and see if we've got what we need. Well, here we go. They let me film in here and everything to find what I want. I'm looking at a couple right now that I'm got to crawl underneath, but that is a V10 Triton. I don't know if that will work, but we're looking for that special metal fuel tank. And gosh, it's a lot more here than what I was expecting. This actually could take me a little while. And of course, I sent a Snapchat to my friend Julian, and next thing you know, I'm looking for parts for him too. So this might take me just a few minutes. Just so you know, the mic is not coming. This thing is just way too big, obnoxious to hold. So we're just gonna take the GoPro and hope the audio comes out great. Suspect number 1. And nope. Here we go. Oh, it's a 7.3. So yep, that's a fail on my part. Probably should have looked at that first. And it's gone anyways. Well, obviously that one won't work either. And of course I forgot gloves. Brought tools, no gloves. There's the fuel tank, so yep, that's not gonna work for that guy either. Yep. Well, man. If I was looking for a plastic one, dude, they're everywhere. The really crappy part is I'm sure there's one in this field somewhere, but am I gonna be able to find it? I mean, jeez. My really fun update. There's about 30 of these plastic ones. Oh. Come on. Does anyone else know where I can find a metal one? Does anyone know of a junkyard anywhere near Northeast Tennessee, obviously, that has one of these things. Please let me know in the comments if you do. 30 trucks later, I at least found one that has the rear fuel cell if we wanted to go that route. But then you got to restructure and everything. Then they make an actual kit for this if you want the rear fuel cell or whatever. But is about twice what anything else is, or even fabricating my own tank. Here we go. After walking a couple miles around this place, I gave up, guys. I had to go get the truck because I walked down this way, looked both ways, and it looked like it went forever. And I've already spent 40 minutes just walking around and not finding anything. So if I can drive and cut it down, by all means. And plus, you know, you've got AC in the truck. Looks like, oh, aluminum body bed over there. Man, somebody should come snag one of those. Jeez, those things are expensive. But if you see the burnt truck right there, it's the one I seen on the way in, but that looks like that's going to be my last hope. Very, very last hope. And obviously if it made it through the fire. And yep. It's just got the plastic tank. Man, I can't win for losing right now. I can't. It's impossible. There you go, guys. A little bit of a disappointment for this video. I know it was a long, drawn-out video to show disappointment, but it's just kind of show you like the hoops we're going through to try to get this truck done. I mean, I think I spent 3.5 hours yesterday at that junkyard trying to find this specialty tank that apparently doesn't exist. That, or it was in the one truck I probably didn't look in. But anyways, so the truck is still at the original shop right now. They've got a fabricator on scene, well, a part-time fabricator, to where he can come in and make this custom fuel tank so we can get this thing up and going. And I was just looking at that because the fabricating with all the welding and, you know, using the plasma table and all that, it's going to be $700-800, somewhere around there after all the labor and getting everything set up for that tank. Which, hey, that's good and fine, everything, because the other setup, that rear fuel one that I talked about, it was like $1,600-1,700. I'm like, okay, wow, that almost matches everything I had to put into the truck already, just a tank. But because my other buddy Tyler at the other shop, he is an up-and-coming shop. He doesn't have a plasma table and all that stuff, so he would have had to outsource fabrication. So that's why both these shops are going to be outstanding to work with. I know my last video was a little disgruntled, but hey, everybody hits snags and everything, and a lot of the guys I watch, like Dirty Max Jack, Street Speed, Mike from Street Speed, and all those places, they have jobs that pay twice as much as mine, and their YouTube channels are about, well, Dirty Max Jack is about 10 to 12 times, somewhere in there bigger than mine, and Street Speed, he's up near 900,000, I think. So obviously I'm a lot smaller channel. I don't make money on my channel like they do, so you know, everything does take a little time. I can't just throw money at it, you know. So that's a little bit why my bills take quite a bit longer than, you know, all these other big channels, which, hey, that's fine. I've talked to actually Mike and Dirty Max Jack, and dude, they are heck of humble, outstanding people. But anyways, especially Dirty Max Jack, we've been throwing, or we used to, not here lately, but his single cab and my single cab, we were bouncing back and forth with some ideas on how to build them. And actually, I want to get in contact with him again because I want to take my 72 up to go see him and possibly race his truck one day. That's what I'm thinking. What do you guys think about that? Try to see if I can hook up with Dirty Max Jack and next race season, because my truck obviously won't be ready this race season. But see if we can possibly get a race between his single cab and my 72 single cab, which I think might weigh a little bit more due to old school and a lot more metal. But I think that would be freaking stellar. And Mike, he said he's kind of getting out of the drag racing business, and he doesn't have a truck that's, you know, his Duramax isn't a race truck at all. But anyways, guys, next week, hopefully we'll see where the tank sits. Hopefully that can be done. As soon as the tank is done, it's legitimately just throwing a wiring harness. Well, they will have to convert the old school and the new school wiring harness together in some form or fashion to make it all work. So there is a lot. Both Tylers are excited for this. It's just, you know, some things take precedence, and, you know, then I don't have, you know, Mopar Daryl, I think, is the guy with the other 72 F250. And if this tells you anything, Tyler at the original shop, he gave me a $5,000 budget. He's like, hey, we should be able to do this for about $5 grand. I was like, cool, I've got it, let's do this and everything. But, you know, there's always hiccups and everything here and there. Think about the guy that I will show right after this, you know, for the ending part, his truck and his bills, his Instagram and all that. For his, he said he has roughly $80,000 into his, and it's been 4 years roughly. Now, granted, he went into a whole lot more fabrication. The floor pan out of his truck is from a 2006 Powerchoke, I think. So he cut out the whole floor pan and made that to where, you know, he wouldn't have to cut into the firewall and all this. This guy went stupid ridiculous into this build. Looking at this truck, you would not realize there's $80,000 in that truck, and he said he would refuse to build a truck for less than $100,000 if he were to do it for someone else. Less than $100,000. With my 04 that I bought, that was $5,600. Let's just round it to $6,000 for that. Then I bought, let's just round it to $1,000, is $900. So you got $7,000 there, then the $5,000 on top. So that ends up being a $12,000 build. Give or take, which it might, you know, go anywhere up to $15,000 by the end of this, you know, with wheels, tires, you know, a couple of things here and there that I really want to do. And by the time it's fully finished, you'll probably be roughly a $30,000 build by the time it's all done. So, yeah, it's taking a little longer than expected, but hey, everybody's project has that unless they literally just have, you know, money to throw at it. And on top of that, brand new baby here, so that obviously takes any precedence over that. And we've been buying a ton of stuff for him. So, you know, it's a touch and go here with the build, but hopefully rod runs. I'm still shooting for it. I tell you, I'm still shooting for it. We've still got 2 weeks for rod runs. I'm still shooting for it. That's what I want to be at, and we will see what happens. But guys, tune in next week for what I expect to be a lot of good updates and everything, because he did show me all these updates. It's just a matter of some time to get them done, and then I guess me just throwing some more money at it. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Stopping by for the first time, please subscribe. You all have a great day.